Cool. Looks like we're live. Okay, let me quickly share this on LinkedIn, and then I'm going to continue with building the website. So let me quickly post a message here. Going live to work on focus.me. Okay. No thanks. And we posted that. Now let's get started. So today I've been working on creating the website. So I'm going to give you a sneak peek. It's something pretty basic. It's just a landing page for now where people can come, view some info about the product, and then they can subscribe so they can get an email when the app is launched. Okay, now the plan is to deploy this. I think I also have to I have to deploy the API as well, because the this button hits an endpoint on the API, and I have a lot of setup configuration to do, and I figured I might as well stream this. I don't know how interesting it will be. I don't know how much coding I'll do. It's basically setting up the Azure account, because I just activated a new subscription and I have $200 in free credits for 30 days. I'm not going to consume this. Yeah, but let's get started. So in order to deploy the website, I want to use Azure Static Apps or something like that. I forgot how they're called. Static Web Apps. Okay. So I'm going to create one and somehow hook it up to my repo, to my GitHub repo, and deploy from there. Okay. So I guess this is the Azure subscription. I need a resource group. I'm going to call it Focus Website. Actually, let's put everything for the production environment here. Name Focus Website. Okay, so then let's use lowercase. It's going to be a free one. It's on GitHub. Okay, so I need to sign in with GitHub. Let's do this. I really hope I'm not going to expose any credentials or API keys during this stream, but who knows. It's not like I'm an experienced streamer. Okay, let's authorize this. Let me quickly put this here. Okay, so we have GitHub connected. I need to add the repository, so it's this one, the main branch. Okay, so it's the main branch. This means that I need to make a commit, because I was working on a separate branch. Okay, let me commit, push. Let me merge everything to main. Okay, but let me try again. Okay, and I'm going to push this. Now in this repo I have the Chrome extension, the Windows app, and also the website. So yeah, we'll see how I can actually, it's not the browser extension, it's the Focus website. Okay, there's no API location. Let me preview the workflow file, and I'm just going to use cursor and ask if this file is okay. I want to deploy the Focus website to an Azure static app or web app. Is this workflow file correct? It's for GitHub Actions. I forgot to specify that. Okay. So the plan is that each time I push to main, it will also push changes to the website. Now this is not ideal because in this repo I have multiple apps and this is not something that I usually do. Okay, I should have one repo for everything and probably I'll do that at some point. But right now I don't care about this. I just want to push the website, the apps, validate the idea, see if it's worth pursuing, if it's worth dedicating more effort, and then I'll do things by the book. I know that I could also push this directly instead of hooking up GitHub, but I like CI/CD pipelines, so in my opinion this is something mandatory. Okay, let's see what we get. Yeah, I'm using Vite. Disclaimer here, I'm not a front-end developer, so the entire website is Vite coded. I have no idea what's in there. I just follow that Vite setup where it asks me if I want React, if I want TypeScript, so I went with this option. Of course, Cursor helped me, but I don't know how good those options are. I try to use the most popular ones because if I'm vibe coding this, then I need to have a lot of sample code on the internet. Okay, so what's wrong? Okay, I should use this one. Okay, yeah, that's right. Let me see if I can change this. So for the source, yeah, no. Okay, output location, it's this, it's not build. Okay, and I think that's it. Let's see what happens here. Deployment token. Let me ask. Okay, so deployment token, choose GitHub on the story. Quickest. I'll go with GitHub identity. I haven't used this one so far, so we'll see how it works. Let's go with West Europe. No tags for now. Okay, so let's hit create. And I think I would need to push to main once, or maybe it will automatically fetch the latest commit and deploy from that. We'll see. Once I have this done, I would have to configure the domain. What else? I also need to deploy the API, and I want to use Terraform for that with GitHub Actions. Okay, so let's see. We have this URL, which right now is the default one. Okay, let me go to GitHub. Open the repo, and yeah, we have the workflow running. Okay. Okay, let me refresh and see. Yeah, okay. So the website is deployed to Azure. Of course, it could look better than this. I think it's too much text, but yeah, I'm not going to waste time with this because usually most of the time that I spend is with UI polishing, and it's not like I'm a UI UX expert or designer. But yeah, I know where I'm wasting time, so I'm avoiding this. Next, let's configure the. Actually, let's deploy the API because I think I have some Terraform code for this, or at least that's what I asked Cursor to do. Yeah, okay, so we have this. Cool. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say, I'm going to go into the automation, get this template, and ask Cursor to write the Terraform for this, and then I'll try to deploy the entire Terraform. Add this static web app to the Terraform code. Then create the GitHub action which deploys the Terraform code. So I have no idea if this will work, if it's going to be a one shot or I would waste some time on this, but it's not a lot of code, and usually for scripting, for the CI/CD YAML files, using AI, it's a pretty good idea. Of course, you need to validate this, and it's not like I'm in a production scenario. Okay, it's not a live application. No one's paying for it yet, so I don't care if the Terraform doesn't work or if it deletes my existing application or something like that. Okay. Let's see. Is there anything I can do while this is running? Don't think so. Actually, I could add some secrets in GitHub Actions because I would need this JWT secret, the OpenAI key. Yeah, there are some things. Also, the MailerLite API key could be added here. API key, okay. Yeah, I think deploying the infrastructure is going to take more than I thought because I want to do it entirely with Terraform. I don't want to deploy some services and then manually adjust them. I want to have everything in Terraform, and configuring the domain, certificates, and all that stuff might take some time. Mostly because it takes some time to run them, so you have to do the changes, push them, wait for the pipeline to fail, do it again, and so on. But we'll see. So the idea is to, just to recap, I want to have the website live. This is done. Then I want to have also the API. I want to configure the domains for them. Ideally, I could have a subdomain for the API, like api.focus.me. yeah, make sure that I have all the secrets configured in the API, and then I could register for Paddle because that's going to take a few days. And once I have that account approved, I would be able to sell monthly subscriptions with the app. Okay, so let's see. Okay, Terraform provides the API container, ECR, PostgreSQL, logging, there's no static, okay. Okay, let me go into plan mode. Let me switch to something more serious. I'm going to go with 4.5. So, should the static name be focus? Okay. Okay, one for prod. I don't want a suffix. We can replace it. Okay. Or we can use another resource group called focus me rg, and then I'll delete the existing one. 2. Do you want to include basic out in the initial, or should they provide just go with the safer approach? I have no idea what is this. For the GitHub Actions part, do you want option A or option B? Reuse. Okay, I think I have okay, let me stash these. Let me pull this, okay. Don't know what these are, so I'm just going to stash them in case I need them. Okay, second thought, I'm going to start a new conversation. So I'm going to say that I manually created an Azure static web app and configured focus websites to be deployed to it, and that is called, okay, it's this one. This is the GitHub action for the web app. I need you to update CI YAML to deploy the Terraform code, then the code for the backend, then the code for the front end. Static web app, okay. But first we need to update the Terraform code to deploy the web app as well. We'll use the resource group, what is this called? Focus me rg. Okay. And let's go into plan mode and see what questions we get. And while this is in plan mode, I'm going to go to GitHub settings, environments, and I'm going to add the secrets that I have here. Okay, mailer light key, yeah, key. Okay, I'm going to do this in another window, of course. Don't want to show this. But first I see that I have some questions. So you mentioned you manually created the Azure Static Web App. How do you want Terraform to handle it? No, let's create a new one. The current key manages, you mentioned focus me RG. Change Terraform to use use focus me RG. This is not created yet, so it should be fine. Okay, let's see what other questions we have. Since I will deploy, what should happen to the existing deleted? Okay, should the plan include unit tests? Not just docs. Why don't I have this option? So I instructed in a cursor rule to always be asked after a plan if I want to update the tests and the documentation after the plan is implemented. Otherwise I forget about it and I make the changes, and then the existing documentation no longer reflects the actual state of the code. So I can show that to you. If I go to cursor settings, rules, yeah. Whenever you make a plan, you will ask the user if the plan steps should include unit tests and documentation updates. Okay, so let's look at the plan. Current state, okay, update Terraform configuration. This will create the static web app. Okay. Yeah, I think it looks good. So we have Terraform. We have build and test, then deploy backend, deploy frontend. Actually, it's build and test, then it's Terraform, which creates the resource group, container registry, container apps environment, app API, PostgreSQL, static web app. Okay, looks good. And these are the secrets that I need to create. Okay, so let me go here and yeah, this is the schema of the existing app. Do you need to make any changes to Terraform to reflect this? Also, I need to include also the MailerLite API key in the secrets. They will be added as environment secrets. GitHub. Is this okay? Okay, so it's analyzing the ARM template. And I think after this I'm going to start, I'm going to allow it to build the plan. Okay. Okay, so I think it's nearly there. Yeah, so we have the MailerLite API key added, the static web app. Okay, MailerLite API key is just needed in the API container. Yes, make the RG configurable because later I will also want a QA environment. 3. Okay, staging environment. No. Okay. And I think after this we should be ready to build the plan. Oh, forgot something. I also want the web app to have the domain configured to focus.me, and the API should be available on api.focus.me. So you need to include this in Terraform and let me know what it's required from me. So I'm spending some time with the planning here, but I'm saving a lot of time actually. So as soon as I have this, I think in, I don't know, 3 or 4 deployments, everything should be up and running. DNS sits in Cloudflare. Should Terraform manage DNS zone? Yes, Terraform manages this. Okay, so it will create a DNS zone. That's fine for me. That's a solid setup. Cool. Okay. So I hope this will be the last thing before I can click on build. Okay, while this is running, I'm creating the secrets in GitHub. Okay, so I'm going to just click on build, and this is going to take some time. While this is doing it's writing the code, I'm going to apply the secrets. Okay. And I think there are some changes that I could do while this is running, so I'm going to open another window. And I did some changes to the extension. So as you can see, I have this section here which looks like a screenshot, but it's just HTML. So I'm going to make the extension look the same as this part here. So if I open, okay, let's open the extensions. Actually, so the extension is here, and I can start a task like work on focus.me, and I'll just say coding, live streaming on YouTube. Okay. Yeah, and this is how it looks, but let me add this here. Okay, so this part should look like this part. Okay. In order to do this, I'm going to go to cursor, and I'm going to add the extension documentation, the screenshot, and I say I need the extension UI to look just like this screenshot. The screenshot is a part of the landing page in Focus website, so you can reuse HTML and CSS from there. Going to make a plan. I'll keep it to auto. Sorry, not the extension. I need the extension. Okay, I mean just the live task part. Title, time, etc. What else do I have here? Okay. Let's plan and see what suggestions we get. Meanwhile, let's see how things are going here. So yeah, still working on it. There are still some to-dos to be completed. So let's get back here. First, we need to make sure that it understood what I want to do. Okay, so until now we just have some Terraform updates. Good. Where in the browser extension should this current focus session appear? Both pop-up and side panel. Replace only the metrics. Okay, that's good. I think it understood what I want to do. Okay, let's see what's the status here. So there are still some tasks to be implemented. But these changes are unrelated, so that's why I'm having two sessions at the same time. Especially one is in agent mode right now, this one is in plan, but as soon as I have the plan ready, I will also switch this to agent mode and I'll start building it. But because this will only affect the browser code and that's only affecting the Terraform code, it's fine. In an ideal situation, they would also be separate repositories, so it wouldn't be an issue. But in my case, I have to be careful. Okay, so it still has 5 more tasks to do. Now, writing this entire Terraform code could take days. And it's still not done. I mean, especially when you don't know what you're doing. Because I had to work on deploying some small project to Azure 2 years ago, and I used AI, but I didn't have Cursor or something like that. I just had a version of ChatGPT, so it was hard to give all the context. So I could just push some change, try to deploy it, feed the error and the relevant files. But yeah, it was a slow process, and it was slow with AI. I don't even want to imagine how it would have been without AI. Okay, so we have 3 more tasks. Let's see how things are going here. Should the plan include running? Yeah, it's what I told you. It asks me if I want to change. I don't need unit tests for this, but if needed, the documentation should be updated. Okay. While this is running, I'm going to add some more GitHub secrets. Okay, let me check what else did I had here. Where's the plan? This one, I think. Okay, so I need to check what secrets I need to add. This one I don't have. The ARM client ID, no. This I don't have, so I'll have to generate them. This one, okay. Okay, so something is done. I think the plan is done for this. Okay, so it says replace live task UI markup. Okay, don't care. I'm just going to build this, see if it works fine. Otherwise, I'll adjust it. So I don't need to spend a lot of time on it. So I think this is nearly done. Let's see what we have here. Okay, so it deleted this GitHub action, this workflow file, it updated this one. So I need to generate these secrets. Backend prod, staging, okay, that's nice. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so I think it's nearly finished. I see it's building the project, it's running the tests, but yeah, this should not be affected by Terraform updates. Okay. So there are some formatting issues, but these should be easy to fix. And here I see there are no code changes yet. Let me look at the plan and see if it mentions this ARM client ID and how do I create it. Otherwise I'll have to ask. So okay, how do I create or retrieve these credentials? I mean, for the service principal JSON, I've done this before. I know that I can do it with Azure CLI. But I don't remember using this ARM client ID. Or actually, this might be an app registration in Azure and it's client ID and client secret. I don't know if that's what it's trying to refer to, but we'll see. Oh, yeah, I was typing this in the wrong window. So it noticed some unexpected changes in the file session card. Okay, this violates my plan, so I need to stop. What? Yeah, I don't care about this. So let me go into ask mode. Yeah, these are the extension changes. Okay, implement Terraform. And this one is still not done. Oh no, it's done. Cool. So let me go to the browser extension. Okay, npm run build. This should build the extension code, and I just need to go here and reload it. Okay, let's dismiss this. So we have task, focus percentage. Okay. Let's see if this is working. Otherwise, I need to add the real API key. Okay. Okay, so it seems to be working. Let's see. So it says that I'm not focused. I was on facebook.com earlier. Let's see if I open the news. Yeah, so hot news is not aligned with my task, so focus is at 0%. I need to open another website. Let me open YouTube. And this should be aligned, but it doesn't seem so. It is a video streaming platform unrelated to your coding task. Okay, let me add the task and say again coding on focus.me YouTube live streaming. Okay. Yeah, now it's aligned. Okay, let me go to the news again. And back to YouTube. So this is aligned. Okay. Cool. Now let's go back to cursor and see what we have with the Terraform code. Okay, we also asked our question. So implemented the Terraform. Okay. New GitHub secrets you must set. Okay, so I need these secrets. But let me ask this. So it looks like I need to log into Cloudflare and also retrieve those secrets. Okay, AZ login. I think I'm logged in, but in another subscription. Yeah. Okay, I'm logging in into my account. Okay, this is the Azure subscription. And let's see what I have here. Okay. create the service principal and credentials. Okay, scope the whole subscription. Yeah, let's go with the entire subscription. Now create the service principal. Okay. Created a contributor role. Okay. Yeah, and this is what I need. Hey, remember what I said about sharing secrets? Yeah, this is what I'm doing now, but I'm going to remove this key in a few seconds. So I'm going to leave this here and quickly go to Azure, find that client ID. How is this supposed to be called? Client Azure subscription or something like that. Azure credentials, okay. Okay, found the app. So I'm just going to delete this and I'm going to create another one. Okay. Okay, so I added the Azure credentials. Now, what else do I need? What about the ARM client and everything? ID, secret. Oh, okay, so I don't think I need this anymore. So I'll say that I created the service principal and it has client ID, secret, etc. in the JSON. Though I still need the separate variables for ARM client ID, etc. Okay, so I need this. Okay, I'll add them now. Okay, this is the client ID. What else? Subscription ID. It's also secret. I don't think it should be a secret, but anyway. And tenant ID. Okay. Good, so I have everything now. I also need these two. What about these two? So I'll have to log into Cloudflare websites. Okay. I have to open the focus.me site. Find the zone ID in the domain details. Okay, I found the zone ID. So is this also, yeah, it's also a secret. And I need the Cloudflare API token. My profile API tokens, okay. Edit zone DNS, okay. Okay. So I have the token. I think that's it. I'm going to push this code. Okay, I'm just going to say updated Terraform code, commit it and push it. And next I'm going to go in the GitHub Actions. Okay, so it's running. Let's see, it's building the code, running the tests. Okay, and then it will deploy the infrastructure. Cool. This part was pretty fast. That's nice. And here I'm expecting to take a few minutes, maybe 10. But let's see if the Azure login part is successful. Cool, so this worked. And we have the first error. Maybe I need to create this manually. Do I need to create this manually? Probably yes. So I'm going to go ahead and open, where was I here? I haven't seen this UI until now. I don't know if this is something specific for these type of subscriptions, or it's just a new UI that appears to new customers and it will slowly be rolled out to everyone. Okay, what do I need to create? So, cool. I'm going to use this. So it says that the subscription ID, which is this one, wasn't found. That's weird. Okay, it doesn't matter, I can create it. Let's see if it did something. So we have Focusbot Terraform state, and then it tried to create the storage account. Okay, I'm going to create it and give it this name. Storage account. Where are you? Okay, and I'm going to say is the name of the storage account, and Focusbot TF state is the resource group. update the Terraform code or the pipeline with this info. Also, account name is FocusBot. Okay, so I'm going to create a new resource group. FocusBot TF state. Okay, storage account name. It's going to be this one with a Q. West Europe. Okay. Lowest cost option. Yeah, let's go with this one. What else? Yeah, let's just review and create it. So I need to leave to the gym in 20-25 minutes. Curious if I'll finish this until then. Come on, why it's taking so long? Okay, let me push this. So I don't need this part. Updated Terraform naming, something like that, or let's see what this one finds. Yeah, this is fine. Okay, create. Okay, so I'm going to go and delete this resource group. And I should have, yeah, this one with the storage account. And let's rename this. Okay, storage, data storage, containers. Let's see if I need to add a container. So, Azure Storage Container create. Okay, so I need a container called TF state. That's it. Cool. Now let's push it and see if it works. Okay, so the build and test part should take around 30 seconds. We have the storage account created for Terraform, and after that it should start creating the resources. So hopefully we are 2 or 3 deployments away from having everything live. I'm still concerned about the domain setup with Cloudflare because I haven't done this before with Terraform, but hopefully it should go smoothly. Okay. Let's see if it passes this part. Okay. So I think it successfully connected to the storage account. It's running Terraform apply. And it failed. So the provider does not support resource type Cloudflare record. Okay. I'm just going to take this and paste it here. Okay, provider, okay, doesn't include Cloudflare record resource type, next I'll confirm. Yeah, one thing that might be wrong here, I'm thinking that it may be using some older Terraform provider. So that's one of the issues when you go with vibe coding with LLMs. They will give you versions from the time they were trained. So most of the times that means you're using an older version. Usually I let it use whatever version knows. So and once I have everything up and running, I update everything to the latest version. But we'll see how this goes now. I don't think this is the most interesting part to be live streaming because it's a lot of waiting for the AI to figure out the problem and provide a fix, and then you have to wait to deploy this. But for those of you who don't do this on a regular basis, dealing with Terraform with infrastructure, it might be interesting because it's not like now I'm teaching you how to use Terraform. I'm showing you how I'm using AI to create the Terraform infrastructure. So this is something that everyone can do. The difference is that if you don't have experience with it, you're going to have a hard time, and you're not going to know if you did the right thing. So yeah, everyone can do it, but it's a matter of time and following best practices. So let's see what we have here. Two ways to fix it. Pin the Cloudflare provider to v4. Yeah. So your existing works on change. Okay. Future proof of the resources. Okay, go with option 2. Go with option 2. But I don't think I have Terraform installed. No. Let's see what version we have. So I'm going to go, where is that here? Okay. And I'll say let's use the latest versions. But before I do this, let me also find the Cloudflare Terraform provider, and I'm going to look at documentation and see if I can figure out this error. So it says something, okay, does not support Cloudflare record. So I'm going to look in here for record. Yeah. This is the Cloudflare provider documentation. Example usage. And schema. Fix it. Okay. I think we should be good now with this part. But there might be other issues on the other components of Terraform. So I was hoping that we would reach sooner the domain part. but yeah, we'll see how this works. Let me think if there's anything else I can do while this is running. I can commit these changes for the extension, and I'm going to make the Windows app look the same. So let me make a commit here, and okay, I'm going to go here and I'm going to say make the same changes to the Windows app. It's a page called focuspage.xaml. The current bar should be changed to a fragmentation bar, and on top I want the same, actually not on top, and I want the same info shown in the Windows app as I have in the extension and the website. So let's make a plan with this, and while this is running I'm going to go here and see if it did the changes. Okay, you see, this is what I like. So if you have the right roles, it won't automatically make changes, because this is something that I usually have a problem with. I ask for a fix, or I ask a question, and because it's in agent mode, it will automatically go and make the changes, which are not always the right ones. So it says that those errors are because Terraform installed Cloudflare. Okay, this is Cloudflare record, fix to apply, pin the Cloudflare provider to v5, rename the resources. Okay, don't pin, oh yeah, 1, yes, let's pin it to v5 to rename the resources. Okay, 3, okay, 4, you keep your current argument since your blocks already used. Okay, I approve. So this should be pretty easy to change. Now let's see how the plan is going. I have some questions in focus page, which bar should become active task card. Let me show you how the app looks like. So active task card, I think this one. Yeah, should the fragmentation bar use a fixed scale segment pattern? Fixed scale pattern. Let me see. So this is running. Okay. Let me think. So should the fragmentation bar use a fixed scaled segment pattern? Yeah, I'm going to go with this one. And here, nice. But you are in agent mode. Come on, can you switch me? Yes, switch to agent mode. Okay, so I think this is a bug from cursor. Should I keep them as is? Yeah, don't worry about this. Okay, let's look here. For the current website row, should the value be current process name only or current process name? If it's a Windows app, then current process name plus current window title. Okay. If it's from the extension, then show current website. Okay, let's go back here. So we did some changes, Cloudflare fix implemented. Okay, let me push and run this in GitHub. Fixed Cloudflare Terraform. Okay. And while that one is running, let's see what we have here. You know, what I'm doing here is not a really good idea, because I started this conversation with the website and the extension, which are both TypeScript, HTML, CSS, and then I'm saying do those things in .NET in XAML, which is an entirely different, XAML is not HTML, it's similar, but it's a different UI language. Let's see, do you want the fragmentation bar to be added? Okay, or to replace the focus status bar. What's the focus status bar? Let me add here a task. Work on, I don't know, coding and the live stream. I think I don't have the key. Yeah, I think I have a bug here. Replace focus status bar, keep active task card mostly as it is. Add to active task card, that's fine. Okay, let's look at the GitHub action. Okay, so I think this advanced a bit. No, it's still at the Terraform apply. Let's look in Azure and see if we have some changes. No, we still don't have the resource group. Okay, I don't see any output from this. I think there's a problem with the Terraform state. It's in a least state, so I need to break it. Yeah. Let me confirm. Okay. So I think now it should continue. So when it failed the last time, it remained in a locked state, and now I unlocked it. Hopefully it will work. Otherwise I need to rerun it. Okay, let's see what we have here while that one is running. So to measure screenshots, should we hide the focus reason? Well, I'm gonna say remove it from focus status bar and show it in the task only. Actually, let's keep both for now and we'll see which one looks better. Okay, let's see. So this one is still not running. Yeah, I'm going to cancel it and run it again. Okay. So let me check again the Terraform state. Okay, this is fine. I'm going to rerun the jobs. Okay, should the plan include running no tests? Okay. Okay, continue. Hopefully we should have the plan now. And then we'll see how it looks, but okay. Now let's see if it's running this. I think this is the last try because after this I have to leave. So I'll stay for 5 more minutes and see if the Terraform deployment is completed or not. And I might continue later this evening or tomorrow morning. Okay. Yeah, I think now it should run the Terraform apply. Okay. We have some problems. Invalid type. Okay. I'm going to go into another window and is this the only error? And one more thing, why don't we have a Terraform plan before apply, right? We should have that. Okay, we have the plan here. Modify only, okay. Yeah, let's just see how it looks like. So I found the failing block inside. Okay, since provides. I have no idea what's happening here. Okay, let me go back here. This one is still running. So, quickest viable solution and pass the object directly. To pass raw HTML objects. Okay, go with best practice solution. And I'm going to download Terraform and validate the schema. I don't think I went to the right. Yeah. Okay, Windows. Let's download this. And I'm going to place it in my tools folder. Okay, let me add this here and here. Okay, let's try to validate it. And then I'm going to ask it to also add a Terraform plan before they apply. Okay, I'm just going to push these changes. Okay. Cool, so this worked. And now let's run the validate command. And paste it here. Now add a plan step in the GitHub action before Terraform apply. Actually, I'm not going to do it now, because right now I need to apply it either way, but in the future I will have a Terraform plan, and if I have some, I don't know, some setting applied to apply the plan, then I will do that step also. Okay, let's force push this. And let's see what it's doing with my Windows app. Okay. And if this fails, I have to leave, so hopefully this will work. Okay. Okay, no more errors. That's cool. So Terraform perform the following actions. Okay, it's creating the resource group, so if I go here I should be able to see it. Yeah, focus me resource group, and the resources should appear here when they are created. So yeah, it's creating the static web app. Why am I creating a PostgreSQL server? I thought I was going to deploy this in a container, but yeah, it should still be cheaper than SQL Server. Okay, let's see what we have so far. So log analytics workspace, the container registry, the static web app. Here is where the website is going to be deployed. Right now it's the default web app. I'm curious if the domain configuration will work from the first time or not. Okay, something failed. 409 conflict. Subscription is not registered to use namespace Microsoft. Okay, I need to register this. Where was that done? Somewhere here. Microsoft.app Azure. Yeah, let's see what this one says. So I'm going to fix this, deploy it, and then I'll have to leave and I'll check if it's live when I get back. But I think this is just a configuration issue. It's a new subscription, so I think I'll have to enable this. Okay, AZ provider register Microsoft app. Registering. Okay, so this is going to take a few seconds or maybe a few minutes, but I'm just going to restart the deployment. Okay, and let's enable debug logging. Okay, and let's see how the Windows app looks like. Oh, I should also check the state because the last run failed. No, it's available, that's okay. And we have an error here. Spacing is not oh, lots of errors. Yeah, I think that's enough. So let me check if this one is registered. Yeah, it's registered, so the build is running. I'm going to check later if this worked. Yeah, I see it's running again, and I'll continue. Hopefully that after I have this part with the infrastructure deployment ready, the next parts will be more interesting. But still, this is something that needs to be done, so I thought that I would stream it anyway. Okay.